to tip things off game 2 of our Thanksgiving doubleheader from Las Vegas. Christian Bishop, so springy, he's able to win the tip, and here come the Creighton Blue Jays. Don't blink, you might miss a shot.
On a 4 out, 1 in. Right here is Christian Bishop, number 13. He's going to set probably 100 ball screens today.
Bishop, expect him to have a big night tonight. Is Jefferson trying to go around the edge? Fadeaway shot. Damian Jefferson.
He's the one guy that we actually haven't even talked about, Damian Jefferson. I've talked about how much I like this Creighton backcourt. Damian Jefferson has not shot the ball well, and I think if Greg McDermott would have chosen one guy to get going early, it would have been number 23 in white.
Needs to see something go through. Shackle ran in to the defender, Tyshawn Alexander, and it's going to stay with San Diego State. Malachi Flynn popped his shoelace and ready to rock and roll again. Tyshawn Alexander had a really busy summer. Junior, he's had an outstanding career at Creighton. Sky's the limit for Tyshawn.
He played on that USA Pan American Games team. Played really well, too, as Malachi Flynn gets into the teeth of the defense. But if you're Creighton, you better keep number 22 out of that lane. He is a shifty guard. Interesting to me that San Diego State has 2 point guards. Malachi Flynn and KJ Fagan are both playmakers. Not too many teams in the country have 2 guys like that.
Bishop to Zegarowski. Fagan's on him. Zegarowski rimmed in and out on his first shot of the night. Here come the Aztecs coming off a win on Monday against Tennessee State. Flynn going around the edge. Shackle, teardrop.
And because Jordan Shackle is such a good three-point shooter, you have to hard close, meaning if you're on defense, you have to close out all the way to his face, and that time he made the defense pay.
Tough fade from Jefferson. He couldn't hit it. Shackle on that field goal. His first in 2 games was 0 for 4 from the floor. Got into foul trouble against Tennessee State. Fagan leaves it off to Wetzel. And Yanni couldn't hit offensive rebound. That's Mensah. Flynn to Shackle. They closed by Zegarowski. Flynn now. Tough shot from Malachi Flynn.
Nice pull. I give credit to Mitch Ballack. He made the extra effort to recognize who that was that he was closing out. Made that shot difficult. You see how Malachi Flynn had to kind of float it up to the roof?
There's Alexander, low-line drive off the back heel. Such a great rebounding team in San Diego State. They're +7 in the rebounding mark so far this year. And a drive, Fagan, and before the shot, a foul.
I like the pace early on. You know, there's a myth that San Diego State, and I probably contributed to that myth, that San Diego State wants to slow it down so much that they're not going to look for opportunities to run. That is not the case. They just hang their hat on the defensive end. That is their identity as a basketball team.
Fade by Shackle, no, and an offensive foul had a push. And they'll get Nathan Mensah, great rebounder, great shot blocker, defensive player of the year in the Mountain West Conference last year. It's his first foul.
He is everything that Brian Dutcher and San Diego State want in a big guy. They want a defensive guy that can protect the rim, but that's mobile and agile where you can switch off and he can keep smaller guys in front of him. I would say that's the same for Yanni Wetzel, number 5. They're not plotters. They don't have cement shoes. These guys can move.
Watch Wetzel over the course of this game, how nimble he is on the defensive side. He made a really tough shot for Christian Bishop. Bishop with an athletic play.
Bishop has improved so much. I watched him as a freshman, and he barely got any time because he couldn't make shots like that. He was kind of a liability on the offensive end.
Wetzel down low. Shackle had Alexander go right by him, and Jordan Shackle rimmed in and out. Zegarowski couldn't corral the rebound. There's Wetzel. Good footwork from Yanni.
2 consecutive possessions, Jeff, where San Diego State has crashed the offensive glass with their length. Greg McDermott, the head coach for Creighton, knows this is a problem. Creighton is small. Christian Bishop is their starting 5 man. He's only 6'7". This team has to gain rebound. Everybody to the glass. Right here, Bishop, watch. This is so nice we had to see it twice. There's not a lot of room there. It was pretty good defense, I would say. And then here's what I'm talking about on the offensive glass. Everybody's got to crash if you're Creighton. Nobody can run and start a transition until you have that orange in your hands.
Shackle with Alexander all over. Alexander poked it away. And Flynn will set it back up. Good help by Ballack. Flynn, another teardrop, and it hung and fell down. Ballack, corner three. Don't worry, he'll take plenty more.
There's more where that came from, no doubt. This guy is a special shooter.
Zegarowski poked it out to Bishop. Here come the Blue Jays flying ahead. Ballack baseline. Zegarowski looking for a seam, feeds Bishop, lost it on the way up.
Still a really nice possession. Beautiful pass by Zegarowski. The patience in the pick and roll. He makes it look easy. This guy does too, KJ Fagan.
Two really good point guards on display in this second game. Bishop poked it away. Bishop on the ground, able to save it. Up ahead, Ballack. Ballack lays it up and in.
Ballack gets credit for the bucket, but let's give some love to Christian Bishop. Completely laid out, Pete Rose style. I know you like the baseball references, my friend. That was Pete Rose.
Pete might be across the street.
Oh, easy there. I don't know the line on this game.
10 to shoot for San Diego State. Malachi Flynn got fouled. Zegarowski picks up the personal. But we are high flying here in Vegas in the early going.
Love it, up and down. Creighton needs to get out in the open floor a little bit more. They're down too early.
2-point lead for San Diego State over the Creighton Blue Jays. Gotta love the Play-Doh, right? Thanksgiving.
It's a classic.
Man, great babysitter too. Davion Mintz, there he is right there, back of your screen. He is such a key and a senior on this Creighton Blue Jays team. They're 4-1 and playing without him, out with a high ankle sprain. They're expecting to get him within the next couple of weeks. But for Davion Mintz, once he comes back, the depth of this Creighton team is unbelievable.
It's crazy. I'm not exaggerating when I say that when Davion Mintz is healthy 100%, that this Creighton backcourt is the best in the country. Like, I dare you to find one that has, you know, the three-point shooting, the depth. Davion Mintz is one of the best defenders on this team, and this team certainly needs as many good defenders as they can get. He's a senior leader, which is really important in college basketball. You can't win at a high level if you don't have seniors that know and expect what to do. And then, you know, on that Australia trip, so Creighton went to Australia, and he averaged 13 points and a team-high 5 assists, so a great decision maker as well. They're missing a lot with him, and then as you see Marcus Zegarowski get the mid-range jumper to fall. Not only are they missing Davion Mintz, but how about Denzel Mahoney, who's going to come back about a month from now. He's a transfer from Southeast Missouri State.
He's a difference maker. He can play the 5. He can stretch you out, shoot 3. Really athletic player. Fadeaway jump shot. Pure from the junior Matt Mitchell.
A lot to like about Matt Mitchell, who I call the 6th starter. He's the 6th man for the San Diego State Aztec team, but he started all but 2 games of his career. He's now a junior. He started his freshman and sophomore year and has willingly come off the bench.
Zegarowski around the screen, knocks down the triple, 1-point game.
Zegarowski is as smooth as it gets. He doesn't get sped up, right? He plays at his own tempo. You don't have to be the fastest at the point guard position, but you do have to be the fastest in spurts, and he knows how to change pace and change direction.
Shackle around the edge. Tough shot over the top of Kelvin Jones. Shackle with 4. Zegarowski, good ball fake. Green light. Tough shot. Jones with an offensive rebound. And a reset by Creighton.
There's a freshman, Sharif Mitchell.
And Sharif Mitchell was fouled on his way up. Joel Mensah. Take another look at the Zegarowski 3.
Hey, just simple. Zegarowski has all the offensive tools. If you go underneath that screen, how dare you, KJ Fagan? You can't disrespect Marcus Zegarowski like that. And then the beautiful response from Jordan Shackle. You know, I've watched Jordan Shackle his first 2 years, and I'm not sure he could consistently make that mid-range, that drive, those floaters. But he has added that to his offensive repertoire. It's nice to see.
On the floor, Trey Pulliam. for the first time for San Diego State. Wetzel checks back in. Another great point guard option for Brian Dutcher and Pulliam.
They're going to go deep into their bench, San Diego State. They're going to play probably 10, probably 11 guys. And so when you're out there, you better play hard on D and give me everything you have. Because Coach Dutcher is not asking them to play the entire half.
It's not quite hockey with the line changes and all the shifting, but it's close. Mitchell asserting himself down low and a foul. He's going to go to the line. He is a load down there, and a matchup nightmare.
He's a guy that I would want no part of guarding, because he's one of those guys that you are guarding him and you're the one that needs to go take an ice bath and ice every part of your body. He seeks contact, and why wouldn't you? Look at his frame. But what I found interesting is that this dude lost 25 pounds in the offseason and still looks like that. And Coach Dutcher said it wasn't like he was overweight. He lost 25 pounds, and he's still as solid as ever. He's just a little bit more mobile, agile.
Kind of guy that if he put on some football pads and went to go play tight end, right? Yeah. He'd pick up weight really easily, and good weight, not bad weight.
Well, he's got a frame that can take it, right? Yeah. My frame, forget about it. I'm built like a coat rack. This guy's built like a semi-truck.
Solid player, the junior, out of Riverside, 6'6", listed at 240. Missed a couple of free throws, though, but Aguaca Rope with the offensive rebound. See a lot of that out of the Rope. Wow. There he is underneath, so athletic. Great vision from Malachi Flynn.
Kind of an easy pass, though, for Yanni Wenzel. That double team was slow, and there was no backside rotation. Very poor defensive possession for the Creighton Blue Jays.
And a bad screen by Christian Bishop. So good, we got to see it again, Casey.
He just sees over the defense, right? Yanni Wenzel's 6'10". He's guarded by Christian Bishop, who's only 6'7". Just looks right over the top. And that's just way too easy. Mitch Ballack has got to be inside underneath the hoop right now. Make them throw that pass all the way over. Worry about that. But you're giving up a 0-footer.
Adam Seiko on the floor for the first time for San Diego State. There's Wetzel, and he has just so much more size than Damian Jefferson. Wetzel can do whatever he wants in that painted area.
Especially with the high-low action, right? So high-low means that the big is posting on the block, and they flash somebody up to that high elbow, the free throw line area. The pass goes there, and it goes from high to low. Forget about it. If you have a height advantage, all you have to do is lob it to the rim. That's exactly the play that San Diego State ran. I would go back to it, that high-low action.
Trying to set it up. Creighton fans wanted a foul. Pulliam setting up a play.
Zagorowski fighting around down there on the block against the rope.
6 to shoot. Mitchell got away with a push. Zagorowski putting it on the floor to Alexander. Tyshawn with the left hand. Knocked down by the rim. Tough pass to begin with. Mitchell driving to Wetzel. Pick your poison if you're the Creighton defense. Bishop puts it on the floor. Wetzel shut him down.
He's mobile. I mean, look, right now he's keeping in front of Tyshawn Alexander. Make him shoot that step-back J. And he can make that, but that's what you want them to take. They're not going to win. They're not going to beat San Diego State shooting those. They're going to win if they get to the rim and they get wide open threes.
And a bad screen. They'll get a rope with a personal foul. San Diego State up by 6 here in Las Vegas at the Continental Tire Las Vegas Invitational. Welcome back to the Las Vegas Invitational. It's presented by Continental Tire. It's a 5-point lead for San Diego State here in Las Vegas. Good contingent of Aztec faithful making the short drive or quick flight from San Diego out to Vegas. Good contingent of folks from Omaha, too, checking it out. How about the owner of the South Point Casino and Hotel, a former Creighton alum, and if you make a phone call and say, hey, I went to Creighton, he'll give you rooms.
Yeah, Mr. Gong, I forget his first name, but Mr. Gong, cheers to you, brother. Yeah, all you got to do is just say, hey, I'm a Creighton Blue Jay fan, and I came to watch him play some ball. All right, yeah, grab a room, any room you want, 3 nights free. It's a good buddy to have. I don't have any buddies like that.
Good for Michael. I never went to Creighton, but...
Michael's his first name?
Yes.
Michael Gong.
Yep. Heck of a deal. 14 to shoot it in the corner. Tyshawn Alexander underneath, couldn't do it. That was a very athletic play. And a reset back to 20. And Ballot buries the 3.
This guy can shoot the 3 any which way you like it. That time the step back against Adam Seiko, number 2 for San Diego State, who Brian Dutner says is one of their best individual one-on-one defenders. And not that time against Ballot.
You give him a hair of space, and he's going to knock a shot down right in front of you.
All 3 of Creighton's guards shoot over 40% from 3. All of them.
Not the best effort on that jumper by Pulliam. Ballot going around the edge, ran into Wetzel. Looking for help. Halfway through this first half in Vegas, game 2 of our doubleheader had a great game number 1. Iowa knocking off Texas Tech. Ballot with the left hand. A soft touch.
He is left-handed, so you're going to want to take away that strong hand drive. Make him go to his right. But that was a heck of a shot there. The degree of difficulty was off the charts.
5 straight for Ballot. Drawing Creighton even. A rope. The tough shot. Here comes Creighton, chance to take the lead.
No lead is safe when you play against Creighton. So yeah, San Diego State got off to a nice little start, but they have to focus on matching personnel, knowing what they do. Is that Wetzel with the block?
Great close by Yanni Wetzel.
Impressed with his mobility, right, to start this game?
Former tennis player in New Zealand. You can tell because of the quick feet. Imagine the service speed you can get with that size, too.
And the volleys at the net? Like, try hitting a passing shot against that.
No chance. 7 to shoot.
Running out of time here.
Mitchell, 2 to shoot. Wetzel wide open.
And that's only his 6th three-point attempt on the year. He's 1 for 6. So not proven that he can drill that with consistency yet. Another good possession defensively for Creighton.
Creighton, you let him take that all day if it's open. Zegarowski feeds Bishop and a risky pass, but a foul underneath. Mitch Ballot starting to come alive offensively for the Blue Jays.
Hey, he's my boy, man. A brother from a different mother. We both love to shoot the long ball. Right there, the step back to the right, which is easier for a left-hander. And then how about that? The one-handed left-hand, he is left-handed, so as to his strong side there. Mitch Ballot, to me, if I had to rank the top 5 shooters in all of college basketball, he would have a place on it. Jordan Bohannon, who we just saw play a half an hour ago, would have a place on it. Davide Moretti for Texas Tech, who was also in that game, would be on it.
That's 3 of 5.
I know.
I'm right here in Las Vegas.
And you may think, Casey, you're exaggerating. No, I'm saying I'm running through all these rosters. Anybody that I can think of. Marcus Howard for Marquette would be on that list as well. And I'm just strictly talking three-point shooting. So if you're thinking, like, where's Miles Powell on that list? Like, to me, Miles Powell's a fantastic scorer, but he's not on that three-point, like, wide open, that guy's going to knock it down every time list for me. So I have one spot open right now. One spot. That's it.
Send in your candidacy to Casey Jacobson. We'll get you his email address.
No, don't do that. I don't read email. I don't read email.
Unsubscribe. Have a tough time.
Nice defense there from Jones. How about that?
And he forced a turnover. He ran right into Kelvin Jones, transfer from Idaho State.
Jones is now the tallest guy on this roster, and they're going to need some contributions from him. There's no doubt about that. As Jacob Epperson, a 7-footer, broke his leg a month before the season started. So now they're going to rely here. Here's Kelvin Jones. Not much of an offensive threat, mind you.
It's had stolen by Nathan Mensah, the team that lost Martin Crumple to the NBA last year. Epperson has had a ton of injury problems. A foul underneath. We'll take a quick timeout. There's Kelvin. He and the Blue Jays up by 2. Right. 2-point lead for Creighton. 7:38 to go in this first half. Fran McCaffrey, a happy guy on this Thanksgiving, as his Hawkeyes upset 12th-ranked Texas Tech earlier tonight here in Las Vegas. So we take a look at our notable games. They're sponsored by UPS. There they are right at the bottom. 72-61. Iowa over Texas Tech. Maryland over Temple. That Michigan victory over North Carolina, huge. You mentioned Powell of Seton Hall. 81-56 over Southern Miss.
I haven't even seen the box score of that game, but I guarantee Miles Powell had at least 20. That's what he does. Professional scorer. Besides the NCAA tournament, I think this is the best week for college basketball fans. I mean, the matchups this week have been awesome, including our back-to-back games and matchups here tonight. This is already proven to be a fantastic matchup. It's going to be a chess match between Greg McDermott and Brian Dutcher tonight. Although I would say that Brian Dutcher has a few more pieces on his board than Greg McDermott.
In about a month, they'd be about even.
Right.
And they get Mintz back and Mahoney eligible.
This Creighton team missed the NCAA tournament last year, despite the fact that they finished tied for 3rd in the Big East. The Big East had kind of a down year. They tied for 3rd with Seton Hall, Georgetown, and Xavier, and only Seton Hall of that group ended up playing in the NCAA tournament. So this year, the expectations are high. I mean, they weren't picked to finish that great. They were actually picked to finish 7th. But the Big East is in for a bounce-back season. I would be surprised when everybody's healthy, Jeff. This Creighton team is not going to finish 7th.
No, top to bottom, the Big East is better.
And you hear analysts say that, and then, you know, the obvious question will be, well, if they're not going to finish 7th, who are they going to finish over, right? And that's a fair question. Right now, to me, Creighton, fully healthy, is a better team than Georgetown. That would be a team that they would jump ahead of.
Zegarowski had it blocked, got it back, and finished it with 7 on the shot clock. 2-point lead again for Creighton. DePaul is a much better team, too. They are going to be a force to be reckoned with.
And they were picked last.
St. John's is better, even though they lost a bunch. Inside, Wetzel.
Wetzel against Mitch Ballard decided not to back him down. It proves to be the right decision. KJ Fagan lines one up.
Fagan shooting just 29% from 3 so far this year. Didn't look like it on that shot. Out of bounds, they're going to say it's off of Tyshawn Alexander.
Wow, I don't agree with that call, but the referee had a better angle. He was closer to the ball, but it looked like Malachi Flynn slapped it right out of the hands of Tyshawn Alexander. Maybe a break for San Diego State. What can they do with it?
Greg McDermott certainly pleading his case as well. Jet Canfield on the floor for the first time for Creighton.
Immediate double team. Tyshawn Alexander has got to be there earlier. We've already seen that play. It's basically a replay of what happened maybe 3 minutes ago. That time it was Tyshawn Alexander. You rotate early to deny that pass.
San Diego State taking advantage of the size. Alexander let Flynn fly by, couldn't hit the shot. 5-0 run for the Aztecs. Drive by Fagan. Canfield was right there to knock it away. 20 to shoot and under 6 to play in the first half. Mensah just riding Canfield down, and Canfield grabbed him and pulled him with him.
Defensively, if you have a game plan to double team the post, Tyshawn Alexander, you can't be sneaking out. I know that's Jordan Shackle, but your responsibility is to take away the layup or the dunk. So Creighton defensively has a lot of work to do. At that time, it was Tyshawn Alexander, who's a junior, one of the best players in the Big East. He's got to know that. If that is your scheme, everybody needs to be on the same page. He was thinking about the shooter and not guarding the hoop.
Mensa hits the first of the 1-and-1. And McDermott is still letting the official hear about it. Officials trying to get a hold of this one.
So part of the chess match between these coaches isn't just about their substitutions. It's about trying to gain an edge with the officials any way they can.
And Wetzel just pushed off, too. Bit of a wry smile on Yanni Wetzel's face.
And the basketball gods have evened it up. Or the referees have.
They got 1 point out of that sequence. Did San Diego State, up by 4. Wetzel's going to go to the bench. And here comes some more pressure.
Yeah, here's the man-to-man full court pressure. And look, it's not uber aggressive, but they feel like it's going to have a cumulative effect on this Creighton backcourt. We'll see as this game progresses.
Zagorowski lost the handle going around Jones. Bobbing and weaving through his screens. 8 to shoot.
A lot of dribbling here from Marcus.
And that shot is blocked. A.J. Fagan. Shackle drives, dishes. There's Battle to intercept. Tyshawn Alexander.
That's Creighton basketball right there. That's a shot that they want. They practice that every day. Maybe 90% of college basketball programs, that is a force, a rush, a bad shot. Not for Creighton.
Transition threes are like layups for Creighton. There's a three. Mitchell. Timeout. Creighton. San Diego State extending their lead to 7. A 9-0 run for the Aztecs. Brian Dutcher's got his Aztecs playing at a high level, trying to get to 7-0. They're up by 7 points, and when Matt Mitchell is knocking down threes, watch out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that he's a bad three-point shooter, but that's not his game. If he gets it rolling from there, you're going to have to close him out hard and then deal with his driving and his physical nature. He would be a massive problem.
Seeing Jet Canfield on the floor. A couple of fouls for Jefferson and for Sharif Mitchell. Pass deflected back into the hands of Bishop. Out of bounds. And it will go to San Diego State.
Christian Bishop get 2 turnovers on 1 possession there. A nightmare scenario. He's trying to do the right thing. Tried to get a backdoor pass to Marcus Zagorowski, and it was there, but it was the wrong pass. It's either got to be floated up higher or it's got to be a bounce pass. He threw it as a chest pass.
7 first-half turnovers. Fagan to the rack. Nope. And Tyshawn Alexander moving the Blue Jays ahead. Going around the screen. Tyshawn Alexander has been quiet. Bishop keeps it alive. Bishop goes up. There's Mensa with another block.
Really impressed with Mensa and Wetzel. San Diego State has put a defensive imprint on this game early.
Creighton hoping to make a run here, down by 7. 4 minutes to go in this first half, and San Diego State has used their size. 4 blocks already in this game, and we talked about this front line and the length. 4 guys that are 6'10", Casey.
That's pretty awesome. And, look, basketball's a global game, right? And no one knows that better than Brian Dutcher. He's looking far and wide for tall, long guys who can play some defense. And he's found a couple who are on display in Las Vegas. And how about the pass from Wetzel? He can block shots, he can defend, but passing out of the double team, Creighton has helped them out quite a bit, making it really easy for them. But Mensa, don't bring it in, man. Shot blocking is one of those things that, that time he fouled Christian Bishop.
He thought he had another one, but the foul.
We saw last night, Jeff, you and I, Kyler Kelly, one of the best shot blockers in the country. He plays for the Oregon State Beavers. When you have a shot blocker, and San Diego State has a couple, it completely alters the way you think mentally as a basketball player. I remember as a player facing some giants that just had really good timing, I would think twice about driving. Yes, I would. Sometimes it still wouldn't deter me, right? Stubborn. But I would think of other ways that I could score, whether it be with a floater or a pull-up. They did make me second-guess myself at times.
Big offensive rebound by Ballack. Is Zegarowski? No. Christian Bishop skies for the rebound, got knocked out of his hands.
No one is working harder than Christian Bishop. I know he had a couple of turnovers, but this guy is grinding, doing whatever he can.
He's improved so much over the last summer. Mensah couldn't finish it, and over the top was Mensah. He's going to pick up the personal. And for Nathan, that'll be his third. And that is very notable for San Diego State.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about it for 2 minutes now. If he has to sit for the rest of this half, which, I mean, we only have 3.5 minutes to go, so likely won't be seeing him until the second. You better believe that everybody in the white jerseys knows about that.
And it's not like this Creighton team is just going to immediately start going into the paint. They're still going to shoot their threes, but it's a big difference. Mitchell from three again, his second of the night.
I love watching that Mitchell play. I followed him when he was a senior at Roosevelt High School in Riverside, California. He led that team to his first ever state championship. And imagine Matt Mitchell. He's almost the size he is now, playing against high school talent. Come on, man. Unfair.
Great intercept by Malachi Flynn. 12-0 run right now. Mitchell, good ball fake. Going to the hoop, and he ran into Christian Bishop. Matt Mitchell down 25 pounds from a year ago, a matchup nightmare, and now he's knocking down shots from beyond the arc. Good luck.
Seriously, but he's got to really, watch that shot. It's pure. It's not like it's awkward. He's got a nice fluid jump shot. But when I was asking Brian Dutcher about Matt, I said, who's the best defender on your team? He said, we got a lot, but the most versatile defender is Matt Mitchell. He can guard centers at the college level, maybe not the pro level, but at the college level, he can guard a center, and he can also guard a point guard. Those types of players are invaluable to college coaches.
Last year averaged better than 10 points a game, 4 rebounds, shot 41% from the floor. Now knocks down a couple of free throws to make it a 14-0 run for San Diego State. And now some more pressure defensively. And back off after the inbound.
It's Creighton that is used to putting 14-0 runs on their opponents. Let's see how they can respond. They need anything, even a free throw would help this team.
And a travel by Marcus Zegarowski. Can't believe it. Arms up. Another turnover, and that's Creighton's 9th in this first half. The footwork of this Aztecs defense has been awfully impressive, Casey.
It's footwork, certainly, but it's also a physical nature about him. Every single guy doesn't mind contact.
Mitchell got his man in the air. Fades back and short on that shot. Just his second miss of the night. Jefferson on the floor for Creighton with 2 fouls. Ballack getting around the screen. Poked away. Tyshawn Alexander off his hands and going to Creighton.
That was the right call. How about KJ Fagan blanketing Tyshawn Alexander, who's been silent in this game. And the anticipation there from KJ Fagan, again, a senior, understands who he's guarding and where Creighton wants to go offensively.
Zegarowski fades back. Nothing followed for the Blue Jays. Tyshawn Alexander 0 for 6 so far in this first half. Fagan has done a great job on him. And a foul. They'll get Kelvin Jones trying to deny the entry pass to Wetzel. Tyshawn Alexander, the big goose egg in the point column, 17 minutes, a couple of rebounds, 0 for 6, averages 17 a game.
And he's a guy, he's one of the few guys on this floor right now that can take over a game. There's plenty of talent that we're watching right now, but there's only a few players that have the skill level to dominate a 5 or 10 minute stretch. Tyshawn Alexander is one of them. He's a preseason Wooden Award watch list player of the year. That's only, top 50 players in the preseason are named to that list. He was one of them. He's 0 for 6, but look, man, he's been around the block a few hundred times. He's not going to be deterred by a slow start.
Creighton offensively, 1 for their last 10 from the floor. Got to get a shot to fall right now.
I mean, nothing is easy, though. Everything is contested. Every cut, every screen, look at over the top.
Ballack, step back, 3. Nope. Wetzel, good box out. 13-point lead. There's a 3. Knocking it down. Malachi Flynn.
And when your defense is grinding Creighton down, those shots become so much easier. There's no pressure. And Malachi Flynn looked like he's playing in the backyard. An 18-0 run. I wouldn't have thought that was even possible.
Ballack finally drops it. Shackle wanted an offensive foul, but Ballack silences the Aztecs. Timeout called by San Diego State. Ballack needed to hit that shot and did for Creighton. Transition game, San Diego State leading by 13, exchanging threes.
You know how much I love the long ball. Look, this is Malachi Flynn, who is shooting better from the three-point arc than he is inside the arc, which is kind of weird. And then here's Mitch Ballack, who I've already crowned as one of the best shooters in all of college basketball. So you better start making some threes, Mitch. You make me look bad.
Ballack's got a couple. He has 10 to lead the Blue Jays' offensive attack. Just 3 of 11 on the night, though, for Creighton.
Nice.
Pulling him inside. And Wetzel, and that's going to be a goaltend. Kelvin Jones went up and through the cylinder to knock it away.
Trey Pulliam with the look off, the dribble penetration, and then those close passes, they might seem like they're easy because they're in close quarters. Those are actually the hardest passes to deliver to a big guy. I was really impressed with that play by the junior.
Creighton hoping to put some points on the board before the half. Down by 15. And Zagorowski will initiate.
Trying to get Mitch Ballack off a double here.
There's Zagorowski off the heel. And that will take us to intermission. Well, the Aztecs are fired up. They've got a 15-point lead. Greg McDermott going to go to the drawing board and see if he can figure out what's going on offensively with Creighton. But San Diego State, what a statement in that first half.
They are a defensive team, and they have flexed their muscle against a very talented offense. Creighton only 25 points in the first half. Wow.
Back with much more right after this.
They have told the story. Ground and pound, San Diego State has dominated. 18 points in the paint to Creighton's 8. And then Creighton handling the pressure. They have not done a good job. 9 turnovers. I give a lot of credit to San Diego State defensively, but on both ends of the floor, Creighton has just not been buttoned up. They're not tight at all, especially on the defense. I would say the one defensive adjustment that Greg McDermott, their head coach right there, can do, if they're going to double the post, they need to be aware of that. They need to be communicating it, pre-rotate, or don't double the post at all and just take your chances one-on-one.
Damian Jefferson just picked up his 3rd personal, 8 seconds into the second half. One of their best rebounders for Creighton. Great defender as well. They're going to need every bit of his defense, but 3 fouls, got to be careful.
Really nice job there defensively, blanketing Flynn. And here's KJ Fagan. This possession is going nowhere.
To shoot. Ballack got his hand right on it. Shot clock violation. It's switching by Creighton.
It all started with the defensive possession on the ball screen. And then here is the last part of the possession. That's kind of a risky move for Mitch Ballack. He easily could have fouled. That would have been a disaster, right? Because they played 34 seconds of solid defense. Excuse me, 29.
Bishop, quiet first half offensively. Damian Jefferson hangs, and he's able to hit.
Did a little chicken wing that he kind of extended right there. Damian Jefferson is built, sturdy. Hey, not like me, sturdy.
Here comes Tyshawn Alexander and Creighton. Alexander, full head of steam. He's going to the line, and maybe this is exactly what Tyshawn Alexander needs. Was 0 for 6 from the floor in the first half. Malachi Flynn picks up his first personal, as it was in the first game. Sometimes you just need some positivity as an offensive player and as a shooter.
Yeah, Jeff, I don't like to admit it, but I did occasionally have a bad shooting night during my career. And when it happens, the best thing to do is seek layups and the foul line. And I'm not, reinventing something. A lot of people know about this, but it's sometimes hard to do. And Tyshawn Alexander gets a couple free throws to go. He's going to be a different player from here on out, just to see a ball go through the net.
That make his first point of the game. He averages 17. And
look at Mitch Ballack fight in front. Wetzel in the post.
He's playing the 4 right now. Malachi Flynn lets it go. And the rebound pulled in by Jefferson. Zegarowski working on Flynn. KJ Fagan should get some credit for what he did in the first half on Alexander. Jumper short. Struggles continue for Alexander.
That was a really nice screen, though, by Bishop. He got all of KJ Fagan on that one.
Shackle too strong on the floater. Rebound. Shackle on the floor. And a tie-up. It's going to go to Creighton. Love the intensity from Shackle.
One of the biggest differences between college basketball and NBA hoops is that if there is a loose ball, there is multiple players that are diving for it, right? In the NBA, and I love NBA hoops, don't get me wrong, but those guys are worth millions of dollars, sometimes billions, and they look at a loose ball and they're like, nah, I don't think so.
Business decision.
I don't think so.
Pressure from San Diego State on that inbound. We've seen that for much of the night. Get that first pass in, and then they sag off with the pressure.
They just want Creighton to expend the energy. It's basically all it is. It's mental and physical energy.
Zegarowski, got to get him going. Short on his first shot of the second half. He's 3 for 11 now from the floor. Shackle had some space and missed.
More balance, sprinting that lane right there.
Going around the screen. Jefferson drives, and a foul on the drive. They'll pick up Fagan with the personal. His first.
You see Damian Jefferson huffing and puffing. Man, he's been working hard, playing out of position. I mean, they're asking him to play the 4 spot. They asked Mitch Ballack to do it as well. And I think when Denzel Mahoney gets back, they can bump Damian Jefferson back to his normal position. Sure, he'll still have opportunities at the 4 to go ultra small. But, I think sometimes it's unfair that we judge players on their stats when they're not really playing the position that they're most comfortable and most effective in.
2 misses for Jefferson from the foul stripe this time. And remember, he picked up his 3rd personal 8 seconds into the second half. Really has to be careful on the defensive end. Ballack is doing great work on Wetzel, trying to keep him in front. Pass out to Flynn, inside and out.
The best basketball teams are built from the inside out. That is such an easy shot for a three-point shooter, the ones that come from inside out, because you can step right in on balance.
Ballack looking for help. There's Ballack for 3. And the rebound by Wetzel. That's his 6th rebound. Bishop intercepts.
That's KJ Fagan getting a little bit too greedy there.
Tyshawn Alexander. Creighton needed that one to fall in a big way.
When they get turnovers, I don't know if there's a team that is better playing downhill with a running start. They all fan out to the three-point line. Do you notice that, Jeff? Like a lot of teams you'll watch, because this is going to go back to San Diego State, a lot of teams you watch will run for layups. These guys run for threes. How about the pass inside out from Wetzel? We've seen, I think that's a third assist from Wetzel. Fourth assist, excuse me. I don't want to shortchange the big man. And Alexander, you got 2 free throws to go down, right? There's a pattern. Now he's got a 3 to go down. Got a lot of minutes to play, and I have a feeling number 5 is going to have something to do with this.
Oh, what a play by Matt Mitchell. Up and under, reverse off the window, chance for 3. Sit and watch.
Oh, this is beautiful. Matt Mitchell was scorching hot in the first half. He comes in as the 6th man. He's still on fire. Take the contact, eyes up on the rim, and 1.
Back with you at the Las Vegas Invitational. It's presented by Continental Tire. Crazy good defense by San Diego State. Putting some clamps on Creighton's prolific three-point shooting. They're up by 14 here in Las Vegas. Folks, learn how the American Cancer Society is teaming up with coaches. Visit coachesversuscancer.org. Brian Dutcher, Greg McDermott, looking on at both of their teams. If you're Greg McDermott, you've got just under 16 minutes to go in the second half, and trying to find a way to stop Matt Mitchell would be a pretty good start.
Matt Mitchell and Malachi Flynn both already in double figures for San Diego State. We have 16 minutes to go. Look, on offense, what can Greg McDermott do in the half court against this team? They don't have a steady low post threat to really get an easy basket. So in order to get some easy hoops, they got to get this guy, Marcus Zagorowski, off pick and rolls, playing downhill. Maybe some isolation opportunities for Tyshawn Alexander. But this Aztec defense they're too stingy.
Zagorowski 3 for 11 from the floor, just inside the three-point line and very short. He is really just struggling to find his shot today.
That is exactly the shot that the Aztecs will concede. And Marcus Zagorowski can make it. But Brian Dutcher is like, I don't care. He can shoot that 100 times over if he wants. No threes, so they're going over every pick and roll and every dribble handoff. And they really don't have to worry about the posts. So they're going to concede and go soft on that as a big. Make sure he doesn't get to the basket.
Jones got his hand in there, but the Aztecs come away with a loose ball.
Mitchell and Zagorowski here.
5 to shoot, cross-court pass. Flynn off the window.
So in our previous game, Iowa, who had been just, shooting lights out, Connor McCaffrey, the coach's son, banked one in, and it feels similar. Like everything was going well for Iowa. Everything is going in for San Diego State. And Malachi Flynn banks one in.
7th time this year he's been in double figures. Flynn with 17. Alexander lost it on the way up. Mitchell poked it away. Shackle transition. Shackle knocks it down. Another 3 for San Diego State.
Got to have a timeout here. You got to regroup.
McDermott calls for it. The Aztecs alive and well in Vegas. A 9-0 run for the undefeated San Diego State Aztecs. Still a lot of game left to be played, but I think we've already found our play of the game. It's sponsored by Continental Tire. When Flynn lets it go, he's thinking, ugh.
The Aztecs have been good. They've also been lucky. All right, Malachi, he might want to go to the slot machines after this game, maybe at the Orleans. Throw in a couple quarters, pull the lever, and see what happens. When you're banking in threes, it just might be your night.
Yeah.
Although he might be underage, so sure. I think he's probably 21.
Tyshawn Alexander. He's made back-to-back threes. They need to get him going if Creighton wants to have a shot.
He had 0 points in the first half. Now has 8. But just as he's starting to heat up, everybody else has gone ice cold.
Counted that as a long 2. As Wetzel is fouled by Kelvin Jones, and Jones will go to the line. Should say Wetzel will go to the line. Foul on Jones. That is his 3rd. Well, this San Diego State team is going to be a load coming into Mountain West Conference play. They open up at Colorado State on the 4th of December after this brief jaunt into Las Vegas. A couple of games within conference, go out of conference again before the new year, but they are going to be a force to be reckoned with.
So they've obviously got their stuff together on the defensive end of the floor, which I kind of already knew about, but offensively was the question mark for me, and they have all the pieces that an efficient offensive team has. They have multiple point guards who are playmakers. They have a shooter in Jordan Shackle that you can't leave, and they have a big guy in Wetzel that can play with his back to the basket, and then a defensive big guy that can protect the rim. I mean, like on paper, and I didn't mention Matt Mitchell, one of the better 6 men, maybe, in the West Coast.
Ballack long 3. No, there is Matt Mitchell holding down another rebound. 13 points for Mitchell, 3 boards. And this is as complete and as deep a team that you might find.
Now, sometimes you look at their rosters, the record is 6-0 coming in as Wetzel, again, going right at Kelvin Jones. That's 2 consecutive fouls on Jones, and he knows he's already untucking his jersey. He don't even have to look at the scores table. It's time to take a seat. They were hoping that Jones could guard Wetzel one-on-one, and that would alleviate some of that, hey, we got a double team every single time, and then we're playing, catch-up.
Kelvin Jones wants to leave this floor. And Greg McDermott kept saying, hey, go tap out with Christian Bishop, take a breath. This front court, that's going to be a very common reaction for people playing against San Diego State this year.
Yeah, they are frustrating. There's no question. I've seen Creighton play many times. I've seen them lose. They lost to Michigan by 10 points in Ann Arbor. I have yet to see them collectively this frustrated in any game in the last couple of seasons.
That was a game that they led at halftime, too, against Michigan. Zegarowski turnaround, nothing falling for Marcus. And the basketball will stay with Creighton. Foul on Wetzel underneath. Jet Canfield will check in for Marcus Zegarowski, who has been stymied offensively. 3 out of 13 for Zegarowski.
He's missed his last 6 shots in a row.
A little extra break with the under 12 timeout coming, and a offensive foul. No, they're going to get Mitchell poking in on Christian Bishop.
That out-of-bounds play was a designed one-on-one play for Christian Bishop to attack Yanni Wetzel. And Wetzel just made the mistake of reaching in. All he had to do was ball up, and Christian Bishop probably would have took a fall-away hook shot.
Sharif Mitchell on the floor. Tyshawn Alexander going around the screen. Tyshawn, his first miss in his last 4 shots.
Oh.
And it's going to stay with San Diego State.
Sharif Mitchell got a hand on that ball. That was a double crossover that if I were in a white uniform, my ankles would be still out there right in front of Brian Dutcher.
Really like Sharif Mitchell, product out of Omaha.
He's number 4 in white. He's got all the tools to be a lockdown defender, even though he's small.
Tough to be too tall on a pass to Mensah, but that was it. Mitchell with the nice breakaway.
And look, he inserted into the game for Marcus Zegarowski, and sometimes, Zegarowski's an awesome player, but he doesn't have it tonight. Maybe you ride Mitchell, see what he can do here.
Flynn went right by him. Oh, what a weak side block by Tyshawn Alexander. Up ahead, Alexander got it in. And a timeout called by San Diego State. Brian Dutcher does not want to let this one get out of hand.
Tyshawn Alexander, show me everything. All right, the block, fill the lane. He could have dunked that, but instead, with the sweet finger roll.
This week, the best rivalry in college football headlines. The big noon Saturday game of the week is number 1 Ohio State battles number 13 Michigan. Starts Saturday strong at 10 Eastern with a special 2-hour big noon kickoff pregame show. It's live from the Big House. Catch it all on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Tyshawn Alexander, 8 points in the second half, and man, Creighton has really needed him to come alive. Still down by 19, but for Tyshawn Alexander, he needs to continue that strong play. Bishop and an offensive foul. Craig Pulliam pushed off on Bishop, and this is where you're going to be able to get some runs by Creighton, creating some offense with some good defense.
And they desperately need to change the tie. So Tyshawn Alexander is kind of opened. Hey, taking off the lid on the basket. But defensively, look, this isn't about X's and O's, Jeff. This is about, like, you got to draw a line. You got to have some pride. This is a upperclassman-led Creighton team, and they're capable of defending. There's no excuses. This is a neutral floor.
Alexander trying to work around. Zegarowski.
And look at KJ Fagan. Just make him work.
He's been outstanding. Ballack gives it up. Zegarowski from the corner. In and out. Odd to see Ballack pass up a pretty good look.
He had to, though. I mean, Zegarowski was wide open in the corner, and that's the second time that Zegarowski's ball has rattled in and around the rim, and his reaction, he's just so frustrated right now.
Flynn with a teardrop over Bishop. Been able to score almost at will. 19 for Flynn.
You know what's interesting is Malachi has had moments in games, but he hasn't had a great game. This is by far the best he's played early on this year.
Ballack with the right hand this time. Ballack with a dozen to lead the Blue Jays.
The time is running out for Creighton, though. I mean, look, it's still a 19-point game. If they can't get stops, it doesn't matter.
Wide open. Mitchell having a night. 16 for Matt Mitchell. Creighton just 4 of 18 from beyond the arc. And a foul on Malachi Flynn, who was doing work on Tyshawn Alexander. But Matt Mitchell for these Aztecs.
Defense miscommunication. 2 guys go with the cutter. You might want to guard the best player. I mean, Malachi Flynn and Matt Mitchell, you can give them the co-MVP right now. Those 2 guys must be accounted for.
19 for Flynn, 16 for Mitchell. He's only missed 2 shots. And on his threes, I don't even think he's drawn iron.
You're right. They've been pure. And they both play defense. Malachi Flynn, he hasn't gotten beaten all night.
Bishop lost it. Got it back. Jefferson. To shoot. Zegarowski lost it. Good possession defensively again from the Aztecs. They've been doing it all night. Fagan dishes. Wetzel.
I call that the Steve Nash from KJ Fagan. He drove in a semicircle and just waited for a cutter. Anybody, didn't matter. That time it was Wetzel. Nice finish, too, from Wetzel with the left hand. That's 2 times that Creighton has lost handle of the ball.
And Shackle couldn't finish it. Jefferson pulled it down. Wetzel was in a spot where if he jams it, he gets a cylinder violation. And a break for Creighton. See if they can capitalize. Inside comes Sharif Mitchell.
Yeah, Sharif Mitchell doing his work. I mean, he's a freshman. First time, in a Thanksgiving tournament like this. And he has more than held his own. Coming into the game, Mitchell has 8 steals. He's a really good defender.
Sharif Mitchell with 6 points off of the bench.
Watch Wetzel come from the bottom of your screen right into your picture, and then how about the left-hand finish over two guys? That's just a big guy who understands what's happening, right? The driver on the baseline needs an outlet pass. Don't just hang out at the top. Cut right to the basket. Make it an easy outlet. Yanni Wetzel is the reigning Mountain West Player of the Week. He's working on his second award.
Averaging 10 and 7 and an easy one there. He's got 15 points. Just toss it up and he'll finish.
Nice pass.
Christian Bishop, strong finish right at the rim.
Even that, Jeff, was contested. That should have been a wide open layup or dunk, but this Aztec team does not give you those. That was a double clutch finish.
They make you think twice about going hard at the rim. 8 to play here in Vegas. What a feed. Shackle dishes. That's Seiko. Seiko had it knocked away by Zegarowski. And Bishop with the loose ball. Bishop thought about it, puts it on the deck.
Wow. Some nice ball handling skills from Bishop.
And he walked with it. Footwork from Wetzel, just a thing of beauty. Forced to travel from Christian Bishop at San Diego State, up 22. 22-point lead for San Diego State. Just totally blitzing this Creighton prolific three-point attack. All of the blocks, 4 of them. Mitchell, Flynn, they have starred here in Las Vegas for the San Diego State Aztecs. Take a look at our game summaries brought to you by Continental Tire. They win a lot of games when you shoot 54%. And you hold Creighton down in the three-point shooting.
I don't know which one is more impressive, the offense for San Diego State or the defense. I would say the defense, just because, like, I know how good Creighton can be on the offensive end. They can get it going, and they can open up 10 or 15-0 runs on any team in the country. They have, I can't remember the last time they scored 2 consecutive baskets. I really can't.
Shackle rimmed it in. Scoring production from everybody on this roster for Brian Dutcher and the Aztecs. Zegarowski still ice cold. Zegarowski now 1 for 9. He hit his first shot, hasn't hit one since. Shackle feeling it.
Oh, wow. Go ahead, Jordan.
10 for 16 from 3 for San Diego State. Zegarowski
still shooting. I'm not mad at him. That's a shot that Marcus Zegarowski, even on a night like this where he wants to forget it, he's got to take that one.
Just 20% from beyond the arc for Creighton. They came in 37%. Inside look, a Guacarope, and before the shot.
Did you see the passing there from San Diego State? I mean, they're putting on a clinic on how to play out of double teams in the post. Wetzel, the unselfish play to KJ Fagan. Watch the quick pass. That is perfect. And Christian Bishop, bless him, man. He's been flying all over the place, trying to do his best, but he's got to have help.
4 fouls now on Bishop. He's about the only guy that's got that significant size down in the posted area. And Christian Bishop has mentioned his 4th foul, heads to the bench. It's been a tough night all around for Creighton. Shooting, defending. And they're going to have to get back and get right after it tomorrow. And if they end up losing this game, they've got Texas Tech tomorrow.
Texas Tech as the consolation game. Are you kidding me? They're the 12th ranked team in the country. They struggled against Iowa. They almost came back in a game where Texas Tech really did nothing right. They hung in there. They're a really tough bunch. And so for Creighton, you're going to have to go in there and really beat them. They're not going to give up easy layups at all. It's very similar to this Aztec defense.
Jalen Wyndham, his first action of the game. Freshman. Great move by Fagan. A Guacarope.
And we laughed at Brian Dutcher for saying how much he loves his team. That I got to play them all. I got to play 11, 12 guys. But you know what? He's right. Even a rope Arope's been productive in his minutes. They hardly ever throw him the ball. He goes after every single rebound. Defensively, he's active. He'll guard multiple positions. Is there a deeper team? I mean, I don't know all the teams, right? I try my best.
Sure.
But
there's a lot of them.
On the West, though, right? Any Mountain West, Pac-12, WCC teams, I don't know of a deeper roster than the one you're looking at in black right now.
I mean, they run 11 deep, and that's no joke, and all of them get significant minutes. It's not just 11 if necessary. It's 11 full-out line changes and production. Walker Rope with a turnover. Malachi Flynn.
Oh, my.
He was trying to lob it, and it went in. He's even in shock.
I don't know what else to say. That was supposed to be an alley-oop. It went in. Malachi Flynn tried to shoot a jumper about 5 minutes ago. He banked it in.
5 extra points for Malachi Flynn in this game. Season high 21 for him. What a boost for San Diego State to get Flynn this year, and all the production that they lost last year too. Watson, McDaniels, Hemsley. They've added some, and they might even be deeper this year. Here's the oopsie.
Trying to go to a rope. He's falling out of bounds, and it goes in. Like, come on, man. Honestly, it's just adding insult to, it's like pouring salt in the open wound of all Creighton fans right now who are watching our broadcast. Or maybe they've already turned it off. I don't know. But come on, man.
Well-deserved high fives for Wetzel and Shackle as they go to the bench. 30-point lead for San Diego State. Everything going right for the Aztecs. Jordan Scurry, one of the 3 seniors on the floor. Sharif Mitchell feeds Wyndham. Blanketed by Aztecs. He draws the foul. Wyndham's going to go to the line. Wyndham playing in just his 4th game. Native of Indianapolis. Going to the line.
These are important minutes for Wyndham. We talk about it all the time. It doesn't matter. These kids, it's a long season. Scurry, Wyndham, they don't know. Canfield, I don't know how many minutes they're going to play for the rest of the season. To get a chance to stretch the legs a little bit, this is big for them. They want to prove to Greg McDermott that they not only can play this year, but that they have some promise in the future. San Diego State likely going to empty their bench pretty soon here.
Flynn still out there on the floor. Mitchell having a great night. Lost it. There's San Diego State all over the place again. Scurry finally comes away with that loose ball. Playing hot potato here late. Scurry ran right on in and drawing Yanni Wetzel. Very complete effort.
Oh, he's been awesome. He could score with his back to the basket. We knew that Creighton had a double team, and this is the assist of the game just because he always has his head up when he gets doubled. He has 4 assists. As a center, that's awesome. You can get anything more than 2 assists from your big guy. You're doing it right. But this is the first time I've seen him play live. I didn't see him last year at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt had a really disappointing season. They lost Darius Garland, who's now in the NBA, early. I want to say in the first 2 weeks of their year. And Bryce Drew ended up getting fired. Now they hired Jerry Stackhouse, and maybe it wasn't a good fit for Wetzel. He's found a nice home in San Diego. And who wouldn't want to move to San Diego?
San Diego probably as close to New Zealand as he's going to get.
I mean, Nashville's nice too, but not as nice as San Diego.
Also true. Everything falling. Adam Seiko knocks down another 3. Make him 11 out of 17 tonight. The Aztecs.
Can they do that against Iowa tomorrow? Will be I mean, they might not have to make 11 threes and still have a chance to win, but I was impressed with Iowa's 3-point defense tonight. They held the Red Raiders. They held them down, right?
And they made just 4 in the entire game. That's what Creighton's doing against San Diego State tonight. I'm excited to see Luka Garza tomorrow against Yanni Wetzel. And we'll get a foul and a chance for a 3-point play. Walker Rope Scurry picks up the foul. And Garza against Wetzel tomorrow is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Garza is one of the best big guys. Let's not get it twisted. He's definitely one of the best big guys in all of college basketball, averaging over 22 points a game. That's tops in the Big Ten. And what he did to Texas Tech, a really good defensive team, although small, was impressive. San Diego State is much bigger.
Yeah.
So, yes, you talked about the matchup with Wetzel, but he's going to also have to deal with Nathan Mensah. All right, it's not just going to be a one-on-one matchup. They're going to rotate guys on him, and they may not have to double Garza.
Sharif Mitchell got the roll. Fifth three made by Creighton.
When you don't have to double team in the post, oh man, is it just a sigh of relief for your defensive game plan? Then you can just talk about personnel. Who are you guarding? Right hand, left hand? Do they shoot? But if you have to double team in the post, you are at a disadvantage on almost every possession.
Like we talked about a couple of moments ago, too, the loser of this game has to deal with Texas Tech, who's coming off a loss, their first of the season. There's the other Mensah, Joel. Let Jones fly right by him. I'm going to be really interested to see the availability of Jamias Ramsey. He left the game in the second half. Still unclear of what the injury was, but he was not comfortable by any stretch. And if Texas Tech has to go a significant amount of time without him, big question mark.
Yeah, if you haven't seen him, he didn't play that great today before getting hurt, but he is a spectacular athlete who can shoot the three and drive it. He's about 6'4". They're going to be, I'm sure he's getting treatment as we speak, right? And he's, by the way, he's 18 years old. And I'm not speculating, right? I'm no doctor, but when you're 18, you take a look at Chris Clark, the point forward for Texas Tech. He had himself a nice night. He got them back in that game, I would argue.
Walk a rope again. This time wouldn't go on a foul at Joel Mensah. And we talked about Luka Garza from game number one. This is just a little sampling of what he was able to do. Got popped in the nose, needed some gauze, needed 4 stitches in the second half.
Hey, look, you can tell he's not super fast. His footwork is amazing. He doesn't mind if there's 2 or 3 guys surrounding him. He can go to jump hook to either side. He can also step out and shoot, although he did not make any of his jump shots tonight. They really didn't need him to do that. They had Jordan Bohannon to do that for him.
Yeah, Bohannon was fantastic. Wieskamp was the guy in the first half.
Look out.
Runner. Oh, boy, almost for Keyshawn Johnson. That would have been an exclamation point on this one. Kelvin Jones going at Mensah. And Jones with the left-hand soft touch. Chance for a three-point play.
A nice move there. Number 43. He wears number 43. You know who wears number 43? Or who used to? Jack Sikma. You look like Jack Sikma on this one right here. All you hoops purists know who I'm talking about. Sikma was one of the best. Footwork, he would face you up. I think that might be the first time that Kelvin Jones has ever been compared to Jack Sikma.
It's pretty good. He's going to keep the tape. I know that. It's about the only thing on this tape that I think Creighton wants to watch, that he's compared to Jack Sikma. Walker Rope lost it up ahead. 3-on-1 for Creighton. And the foul. And Sharif Mitchell taking advantage of all of his opportunities in this second half. Makes a couple of free throws. They'll be in double figures.
He's playing well. I mean, really, he's definitely earned himself some minutes. Under bad circumstances, certainly. But we forget that this is only his 6th game, right? All these freshmen, we're so early in the year. These guys have no idea. I remember my 6th game as a college basketball player at Stanford in 1999. I had no idea what I was doing. I pretended like I did.
Sure.
I thought I knew everything. But I needed much more time in the weight room, much more time in film study, much more time talking to my head coach about what was expected of me. These guys are growing leaps and bounds every day and week.
Keyshawn Johnson driving and a bit out of control. He is called for a charge. Another talented young player for Brian Dutcher that they really like a lot. He's the only freshman that is on this roster. Talk about learning quick.
It's kind of nice to be the only freshman on the league. You know, he's got a bunch of guys that can mentor him. And then when he's a senior, he'll be the only senior.
Yeah. 6'7" out of Northern California, the Bay Area. Scurry on a rope. Jet Canfield trying to find somebody open. Sharif Mitchell got blocked. And that is going to do it. San Diego State, an impressive win, 83-52. And they've got a date with the Iowa Hawkeyes in the championship game of the Continental Tire Las Vegas Invitational tomorrow evening here at the Orleans Arena. Very impressive by Brian Dutcher's squad. 21 points from Malachi Flynn, season high. Wetzel with 15, Mitchell off the bench with 16. It really put the lid on Tyshawn Alexander and Marcus Zegarowski as well. 15 points combined between those two for Creighton. And again, Malachi Flynn, everything was going for him tonight. 7 of 11 from the floor, 3 assists, was 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, including this bit of window shopping. And even the attempted alley-oop went down for Malachi Flynn. So a great night for him, a great night for San Diego State. And Brian Dutcher standing by with Casey Jacobson to talk about a big win.
Thanks, Jeff. Coach Dutcher, wow, that was as impressive of a performance that I have seen in the first couple weeks of the season. I want to ask, are you more impressed with your offensive performance or your defense tonight?
Definitely the defense. That's what we're hanging our hat on. We got great depth. We got a lot of guys that play hard, and they follow the game plan, and we guarded at a really high level.
So, I mean, coming into the game, I know that you were well-versed on how dangerous Creighton is in the backcourt. How did you smother Zegarowski and Ballack? How did that happen tonight?
We just fought hard over all the ball screens and handoffs. We didn't want to stop them stopping behind. So we fought over, and then the post players were there to support the guards. And we just said we have to be tougher on the ball screens, and we were.
You and I talked about Malachi Flynn, how he's had some really good moments, but he hasn't had that breakout game. I thought tonight he was fantastic. What did you think of your junior guard?
Yeah, Malachi's been great for us. Even though he hasn't been scoring, his assists are way up. He's had games of 10 assists, 9 assists, and now it's good to see him knock down some jump shots. So I think he's getting his timing back after a year off.
So I know that you've only been enjoying this game, this victory for 2 minutes, but I have to ask you about an Iowa team tomorrow who's going to present a different challenge for Creighton. What do you know about Iowa, and are you looking forward to the game?
You know, they're so physical, the physicality of what they do. So we have to be prepared for that, for a physical game. But we have enough size, I think, where we can counter some of that with our size and strength.
Coach Dutcher, congratulations on the win. We'll see you tomorrow night, all right?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Good luck.
Casey.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
All right, our thanks to Casey Jacobson and head coach Brian Dutcher. A big, big win for San Diego State. Jordan Shackle also 13 points, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. And it was in the second half when he knocked down a couple of triples that really sealed the deal for San Diego State. There was just no breathing room for Creighton to try and come back into this ball game. Jordan Shackle had another nice night.
Coach Dutcher was selling his team short, man. His performance, or his team's performance, was as impressive as any of the early performances I've seen, because we didn't know if San Diego State was for real. They were 6-0. They had a nice win at BYU, but coming here on a neutral floor, and it's not that they won, Jeff. It's how they won. They completely took the will away from Creighton. About 5 minutes into the second half, this game was over, and they wanted no part of San Diego State defensively. I can't wait to watch the matchup with Iowa tomorrow night.
Oh, it's really going to be fascinating. Again, we talked about Luka Garza against Wetzel, but he's going to have Mensah on him as well. Creighton just goes 4 for 23 in this game, and it snaps a streak of 76 straight games with 5 or more threes. That was the 4th longest in the NCAA. Not anymore. San Diego State drops that, and they are going to play for the championship here at the Orleans Arena And again, Casey, your final thoughts on this one. We had two great games on this Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Texas Tech against Iowa earlier today, an upset for Iowa, and then just smothering defense from San Diego State.
Man, it was quite a sight to behold. I'm not a guy that gets excited for defense. I'd rather see some three-point shooting. But what San Diego State did to Creighton today was really impressive. I'm curious to see how they guard Luka Garza. San Diego State has a very tall and long front line, but Luka Garza scored against everybody. So they might play him one-on-one, which I find fascinating. Let's see if Luka Garza can just go to work and carve out space like we carved out Turkey today.
Exactly what I was going to say. Hey, it was fun. You want to do it again tomorrow?
Absolutely.
All right, we got a doubleheader of basketball tomorrow for you. It's going to be